Peace, family. Today, I am celebrating my December 2019 full moon divine feminine ritual. Take a good look at the altar, and then we will go over correspondences. Now, everyone should have 13 full moons that they celebrate if you study witchcraft. I am celebrating the divine feminine, the triple goddess, and the cold moon, which is the moon that comes right before Yule, when the days are at their shortest point. So shorter days, longer nights. As you can see, I have the triple goddess with 3 selenite towers and 3 clear quartz. Each candle represents an aspect of the goddess. You have the maiden, the mother, and the crone, beginning, the womb of life, and endings, because life is all about cycles. Here I have a mortar and pestle, rosemary, because the substitution rule for witchcraft is that rosemary can substitute for any other herb, as well as tobacco can substitute for frankincense and myrrh, because it's also considered a residue or a resin. As you can see, I have a selenite wand and an athame or an athame dedicated to the goddess. I have a spear, I have an incense burner as a representation of air for the triple goddess. I have a selenite stick. I have the high priestess. She represents balance and justice, and she is the protector of the unconscious. I also have the moon card, because the moon card can stand for things that you wouldn't normally do. So things that I wouldn't normally do, or things that are not of nature or of my character, I would like to release. I have a rose quartz heart for love that you have for others, because the moon deals with compassionate, loving energy. I have a candle lit for the full moon. I have my full moon. I have the wheel of fortune, because life is about cycles and about choices. Depending on the right path or the right choice that you make can determine your outcome. And remember, the Wheel of Fortune is the only tarot card of the major arcana that doesn't have an image of a face or a being as a focal point. And you also have the Queen of Cups, who is very passionate, very wise, the sorceress, the crone, who has clairvoyance, and who is psychic, who can read your thoughts and already know the situation before you can even speak upon it. I have a glass of water, because the full moon energy ties in with the element of water. It has a major dominant effect over the element of water, and it can also be used for scrying. I have purple amethyst. I have clear quartz and smoky quartz for polarities. I have a quartz geode. I have another purple amethyst cluster, because it is not a cathedral. I have a moon phase crystal grid box that represents all of the phases of the moon. you have the new moon, a waxing crescent, first quarter, and a waxing gibbous. Waxing means that it's getting bigger. You have your full moon, then you have your waning gibbous, your last quarter, and your waning crescent. Waning is when the moon is getting smaller. You would also have a dark moon. A lot of pagans are scared to deal with the dark moon, not knowing that that is your primordial energy. That deals with your darker self, your lower self, and that is where your true power comes from. So it's very powerful to work with the dark goddess as well. I have a purple amethyst tower, an abalone shell with sage and Palo Santos. Sage for smudging and cleansing out negative area, out negative areas and negative energy, and Palo Santos for cleansing out negative energy and bringing in abundance. And it is also good for balancing the chakras. Now, dealing with the triple goddess, all of this ties into the divine feminine. Why? Because we have 13 full moons. And if women understand that they are connected with the moon, then they have 13 menstrual cycles. So your menstrual cycle is something very powerful because during your menstrual cycle, in a metaphysical, esoteric sense, is dealing with the rebirth of womanhood. So when women vibrate on their highest frequency, they are connected with the moon. I hope that you enjoyed my December full moon ritual as I am celebrating the cold moon and the triple goddess and the divine feminine. And the moon will be going to, and the full moon will be going into Cancer at around 6:30. If you deal with planetary glyphs and planetary magic and our magic. One more look. And what you see in the middle is the flower of life. Ashe to the divine feminine.